Have you ever thought about how strange sleep really is? Every night, humans do something that seems completely insane. We close our eyes. We become unconscious. We stop paying attention to the world. And then we just lie there for hours. Now imagine you're living 50,000 years ago. No house, no locks, no alarm system, just darkness. And somewhere out there, lions, hyenas, wolves, giant cats, and things with teeth longer than your fingers. So here's the question. Why weren't ancient humans eaten every night? Think about that for a second. Most animals become prey when they're asleep, yet somehow humans survived. Not just survived. We spread across the entire planet. How? And here's where things get weird. The answer may have less to do with strength and more to do with reputation, because long before humans ruled the earth, predators may have learned something terrifying about us, something that made even sleeping humans a dangerous target. Let's find out why. Imagine you're a hungry lion. You have choices: a deer, a zebra, an antelope, or a weird hairless ape sleeping near a fire. Which one do you choose? The answer seems obvious, but predators don't just hunt what they can kill. They hunt what is worth killing. That's an important difference, because every hunt is a gamble. A broken leg can mean death. A damaged eye can mean starvation. One bad decision can end a predator's life. So predators constantly calculate risk, even if they don't know they're doing it. And humans? Humans are surprisingly risky, but we'll come back to that. First, let's look at the mystery. Because ancient humans should have been easy prey. Compared to other animals, we're not impressive. We don't have claws. We don't have fangs. We can't outrun most predators. We're basically monkeys that misplaced all their fur. Not exactly intimidating. Yet archaeological evidence suggests that humans survived alongside giant predators for hundreds of thousands of years. Lions, leopards, hyenas, dire wolves, saber-toothed cats. The neighborhood was not friendly, and somehow humans kept making it to breakfast. Why? For a long time, researchers thought fire was the answer. Makes sense, right? Predators dislike fire. Even modern animals tend to avoid flames. A campfire creates light, smoke, noise, protection. Case closed. Except not really, because some human ancestors survived dangerous predators before fire became common. And even after fire appeared, people weren't sitting around giant bonfires all night. Fuel was valuable. Fire goes out. People sleep. The mystery remained. Then anthropologists started looking somewhere else, at human behavior. And suddenly, things got much stranger. Because humans almost never slept alone. Think about that. Most prey animals rely on speed. Humans relied on each other. A sleeping human wasn't just one human. It was usually part of a group. 10, 20, 30, sometimes more. If a predator approached, somebody would wake up. A baby cries. A person shifts position. A branch snaps. A dog barks. Well, eventually dogs bark. We'll get to them later. The point is simple. Humans turn sleep into a team activity, which sounds less impressive when you say it out loud. But it changed everything. Here's a funny comparison. Imagine stealing one cookie from a kitchen. Easy. Now, imagine stealing a cookie while 20 people are watching you. Suddenly, the cookie becomes very expensive. Predators faced a similar problem. One sleeping human wasn't the real target. The group was, and groups fight back. But then something strange happens. The more scientists studied hunter-gatherers, the more they noticed a pattern. Humans don't just defend themselves. They retaliate. Aggressively, relentlessly, sometimes irrationally. Imagine you're a leopard. You attack one human. Maybe you succeed. Great. But now 20 humans spend the next week hunting you. Not because they're hungry, because they're angry. That's unusual in nature. Most prey animals run away. Humans hold grudges. For thousands of generations, predators may have learned that humans create consequences, serious consequences. Anthropologists sometimes call this a reputation effect. Animals learn. A predator that survives an encounter remembers. Its offspring learn. Behaviors spread. Eventually, humans become known as trouble. Very dangerous trouble. Think about that for a second. The most powerful weapon humans may have had wasn't a spear. It was a reputation. Now let's add another twist. Sleep itself evolved differently in humans. Compared to many animals, humans actually sleep less. Most primates sleep around 10 to 15 hours per day. Humans average much less, around 7 to 8. Why would evolution reduce sleep? Because sleep is dangerous. Every minute unconscious is a minute vulnerable. Researchers believe humans became unusually efficient sleepers. We get more deep sleep in less time. In other words, evolution may have compressed sleep to reduce risk. Nature looked at the predator problem and said, let's make these apes sleep faster, which sounds like a software update. Version 2, less sleeping, more surviving. And here's where dogs enter the story. Thousands of years ago, humans formed one of the strangest partnerships in history, wolves. At first, they were competitors, then companions, then living alarm systems. A sleeping human camp with dogs became much harder to surprise. The dogs heard things first, smelled things first, reacted first. Suddenly, predators weren't sneaking up on humans anymore. Humans outsourced security, possibly the greatest business decision in prehistory. But the deepest answer isn't fire, or dogs, or even weapons. It's cooperation. That's what makes humans different. A sleeping lion is still just one lion. A sleeping human belongs to a network. Friends, family, allies, shared knowledge, shared protection, shared revenge. Humans survive because humans rarely face the world alone, and predators learn that lesson again and again. Across thousands of generations, until attacking humans simply became a bad bet. Not impossible, just costly. Too costly. So why do predators ignore sleeping humans? Because they aren't really ignoring us. They're responding to millions of years of information. Information that says, this creature looks weak. This creature looks vulnerable. This creature looks asleep. But touching it may become the biggest mistake of your life. And maybe that's the most fascinating part of all. Human civilization wasn't built because we were the strongest animal. We weren't. It wasn't because we were the fastest. We definitely weren't. It was because we discovered something far more powerful. We discovered how to turn many fragile individuals into one resilient group. A group so effective that even while unconscious, it remained dangerous. Think about that. Most creatures survive by staying awake. Humans became so successful that we could afford to sleep, and perhaps that's one of the clearest signs that we had already won.